During a recent appearance on Fox News, Donald Trump once again attempted to blame President Joe Biden for the vaccine hesitancy here in the United States. Donald Trump said, well, like he always says, "When I was president, everybody wanted it. I don't know what happened. Joe Biden came along and suddenly nobody wanted the vaccine anymore." It's a little more complicated than that here, buddy. Because that's really not even what happened. What happened was that bitter Republicans like yourself got mad that Republicans were no longer in charge in Washington, D.C. They wanted to hurt the Democrats, especially President Joe Biden. So what they did was they started this smear campaign, really, against the vaccines, making all of these outlandish claims, going onto their right-wing media networks and casting doubt about the efficacy of the vaccine, the safety of the vaccine, having people come on their programs talking about how it made them magnetic or it made them ill. They had seizures. They had all these things that most of the time really not even attributed to the vaccine itself. Not to mention the fact that we have had 100 million people in the United States, more than that, get the vaccine with no side effects at all, except for maybe a little arm pain at site of injection. But Republicans did that. And sure, there's some people on the left that have promoted vaccine hesitancy, but they've moved so far left by their own standards that they're pretty much on the right at this point. And yeah, you have prominent anti-vaxxers who used to be, super liberals, but the only place they can find an audience for their anti-vax conspiracies is on conservative media. Hell, Tucker Carlson wanted to get Nicki Minaj's cousin's friend on the program to talk about how the vaccine allegedly made his testicles swollen, even though medical experts pointed out that what he was describing was actually an STD, which is likely why his fiancée called off the wedding. If you're not familiar with that story, please don't bother to look it up because it's just ridiculous. But it's not because of Joe Biden. It's not because Vice President Kamala Harris about a year ago cast doubt on the safety of the vaccines coming under Donald Trump. She didn't even say not to get it. She just said she'd be hesitant. And of course, she has obviously changed her tune. She got the vaccine. Lawmakers got the vaccine. Way before the rest of us, the wealthy elite got the vaccine. And honestly, I saw a tweet. I don't know who to attribute it to. I'm so sorry about that, but it was brilliant. And it pointed out to all these anti-vaxxers who claim that the government's trying to experiment on us with it. Yeah, if that were the case, they wouldn't have given it to the lawmakers and the wealthy people of the country first. If they thought it was dangerous, they would have gone out there and given it to homeless people or people in prisons or poor people across the country first, instead of making all those people wait till the very end. Like, that's a pretty good way to debunk all this stuff right now. But no, Donald Trump, Biden is not the reason for the vaccine hesitancy. In fact, polls show that the biggest group in the United States who is vaccine hesitant today are white conservatives. The people who follow you. The people who listen to Marjorie Taylor Greene talk about how dangerous the vaccine is. The people who tune into Fox News where they're questioning the safety of it every day. The people who watch Newsmax and One America who don't know that they're getting propaganda instead of actual reporting. Those are the people who are driving vaccine hesitancy here in the United States. It's not liberals. It's not Joe Biden's followers. It's diehard Republicans who suddenly think they're all medical experts just because they hate Joe Biden. I'm not understanding how that works, but that's what's happening here. If you have questions about the safety of the vaccine, talk to a doctor. Not a politician, not a twice impeached former president, a medical doctor. A real medical doctor. Let them answer your questions. Don't take it from me, take it from them. But certainly, don't listen to an idiot like Donald Trump who's out there trying to pin all this on Biden when it's his party that is pushing people to be anti-vax.